Hey, what's up? Welcome back to my channel. Today's going to be a little bit of a quick sketchbook tour, a little bit of a continuation from the videos that I made a couple months ago that were more in-depth sketchbook tour. But since then, I've actually made a couple of additions in my sketchbook, most notably this past weekend. I actually went to the Metropolitan Museum of Art here in New York City. The Met is actually one of my favorite museums. It's also one of my favorite spots in New York just to kind of get lost, especially on a really cold day or if it's raining out or whatever it might be. This museum is filled with the most incredible art. Lucky for me, it's actually relatively close by, and I can go there and just kind of study the masters and just be surrounded by a lot of amazing art. I always come out of there feeling super inspired and thinking a little bit differently about how I might approach my next piece. This time, I actually remembered to bring my sketchbook with me because a lot of times I go there and I don't have anything to draw with. So this time I purposely threw a sketchbook in my bag and actually went there with the intent that I was going to make little studies of paintings or sculptures, or whatever I found to be interesting. As always, I kind of got a little bit lost in the art itself, and I didn't really take too much time out to make any studies of paintings or anything like that. I actually saw a show there that was really cool. It's an etching show, and I think it's up until January or maybe April. I'm not sure if I'm mixing up the dates, but if you're in New York City, it's definitely worth checking out. It's all about, I think, the first 5 years of the etching process itself. So it's really interesting to see the earliest etchings and to see how artists were using it and how excited they were to finally be able to reproduce their art and have people see it outside of just viewing the original piece of art. So that was actually really cool, and I've always wanted to try etching, so this kind of inspired me to maybe try it out this year, this upcoming year. Maybe I'll take a class or something like that and just kind of see what that whole process is like. Other than that show, the permanent collection is always amazing. There's incredible artwork from the Renaissance to the Impressionist era to modern art. There's sculptures, there's paintings. It's really awesome. I oftentimes find myself in this room called, I think it's like an indoor sculpture garden, and the lighting is really amazing, and it's actually a really relaxing room, and it's surrounded by these amazing figurative sculptures, and I love anything figurative, so I often go there and just kind of like look at the sculptures, sit down, relax. And this time, since I had my sketchbook with me, I just started drawing, and of course I didn't start drawing the sculptures, I just started drawing random people. Whenever I find myself in a public place like this and I have something to draw with, I can't help but just draw random people. It's really relaxing, but it's also kind of like a good drawing exercise because the people are always moving and changing positions and getting up and walking away. So it really forces you to just capture the gesture of someone's figure. And then if there's time after that, then you can add some of the more detailed stuff. So this was a really good opportunity to just sort of retrain my eye-hand coordination when drawing in public like that. It's something I actually haven't done quite a bit of time. I try to go as often as I can to figure drawing classes. I think I've mentioned that on this channel here before. But just drawing out in public like this is something I used to do more frequently, but just haven't had the time to do it as often. Once I kind of warmed up drawing all the people, I found a sculpture that I really liked, and I actually had drawn this sculpture in the past, and I really liked the pose and the angle that I was sitting at to try and capture it. It's always interesting drawing in public because people are passing by and they tend to kind of look over your shoulder to see what you're doing. At this point, I really don't mind. I kind of just stay in my own zone, you know. I can't really blame people for looking because whenever I see somebody drawing, I can't help but stop and kind of look at what they're doing anyway. So it's kind of nice, and people come up and they ask questions, and you're in a museum, so there's art everywhere. So it's not necessarily that out of place to just sort of start sketching what you see. Anyway, so that's a quick look at some of the additions that I made in my sketchbook this past weekend. Hope you liked it. Hope you like coming along on this little quick visit to the museum with me. Maybe one day I could do a more in-depth on-location video somewhere. Who knows? If you're interested in seeing something like that, leave a comment down below and let me know. Until then, though, thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care.